pledge allegiance.
Not yet. We got to start. So we're going to call the meeting to order. Before we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, like we do, we have students come in and lead us in, who's being shy right now, who's to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight we have Marcelo Pena. He's a first grade student at Otis in Mrs. Freeman's class, and his parents are Centenia Minor and Victor Pena. So if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Marcelo will lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, and there's stuff inside.
You.
All right. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom.
Here.
Ms. Lehman.
Here.
Ms. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Nally.
Here.
Mr. Price.
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from our regular meeting held September 22nd, 2025?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom.
Yes.
Ms. Lehman.
Yes.
Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Nally.
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Moving on to our legislative report.
I just wanted to mention that the Senate had overridden two of the vetoes by Governor DeWine, one dealing with the Budget Commission and how they can affect a levy once it's gone through the 5 years process. After 5 years, they can have some discussions with our treasurer and our board regarding collection. And, I think we've been very efficient as a district in using our dollars. And I think the people at the county level are very familiar with our processes. And so, I would think that there should be a lot of positive support there.
Sorry, Don. So that still has to go to the House then, correct?
Yes.
You said the Senate vetoed it, but the House still would have to do the same?
The Senate overrode the veto. So I think the House has to do that now. Yes. And same with the restricting the emergency levies, which we don't have, but that can affect other smaller districts and those that run into issues. So those are the main two. There doesn't seem to be, as I have read different write-ups, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of positive support coming from the House or the Senate regarding the governor's work group that he put in place on property taxes. I think the House and the Senate, I think, are trying to figure out what they can do with the property tax issue. And part of I think it's because that's what they believe. And part of it is, I think they want to make every effort to not get it on the ballot as an issue in the future to eliminate all property taxes. Because I think they understand that would be a pretty devastating effect to many levels of our government, at the local and county level in particular, and townships. So those are the main things that are going on right now with the House. There's many other issues. Our House rep has made many proposals. I'm not sure where those are at in terms of if they're gaining any legs down in Columbus. But some of those proposals I would view as kind of scary as what the impact would be on our schools. And I just hope that all of our legislators understand and would buy into the value of our public schools. That's all I have.
Okay. Thanks, Don. No walk-on items tonight?
No, sir.
Anyone from the community like to address the board? Okay, moving on to superintendent's report.
Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. We have this evening 2 committee reports that we would like to take a moment to share. We've had 2 committees, Health and Wellness and Finance, I believe, are ready to share out with those meeting minutes. Ms. Lehman, are you going to share Health and Wellness?
Certainly can.
Well, thank you very
I
much.
have them right here on my device. Yeah. Don't have my glasses, but I think I can get through this.
Okay.
All right. From our meeting of September, self-funded report update. We are maintaining an average balance of about $500,000 in the fund. The expenditures were high this past month due to the July billing for MH administration costs were missed and corrected with a double payment in August. The balance also includes the $325,000 previously moved from the general fund that needs to be paid back. They kind of have that on the back burner, that's that extra nest there. So if we can pay it back, sooner than later we will, but we'll see what happens. The house screenings feedback. Positive feedbacks included, they reported that there was quick appointment processes. The staff was friendly and there were easy blood draws. Prize updates from the prizes that we give out for this health and wellness. The water challenge winner was Brenda Woodman. She won a Stanley Cup. And various wellness related prize donations have been received with forms available. Sorry about this. It's hard for me to read this. Various wellness, I'm going to make this bigger. Various wellness related prize donations have been received with forms available from Gina Henline for board approval. And I have a couple items with me tonight that I'll be adding, and we'll get all that taken care of and
Fantastic.
get some more prize baskets made for the staff that wants to get involved in this. So that's the updates that we have from Health and Wellness.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Mr. Nally, are you sharing Finance and Audit?
I can
You're tag teaming?
get started, and Mr. Price can jump in on any comments. We just at our last finance committee meeting, we discussed the monthly financials, plans with the current cash resources to maximize current interest opportunities. Treasurer was having some meetings with other county school treasurers to talk a little bit about the homestead exemptions. And Megan, if you want to kick in on that at all.
We did have that meeting right after the finance committee, and we did come up with a letter to the commissioners expressing our concerns if they were to move forward with this homestead exemption potentially. We're not sure where their heads are at, because while the school district is probably the entity that gets hit the most, this would affect all, like townships, county, anybody that has a levy
Right.
from real estate taxes. This would affect everybody. So we're not sure where they were at. So part of our letter was we would like a meeting with the commissioners if they plan on moving forward with this.
And basically, what would the effect be with the change that they want to make?
Our district itself would lose about $500,000 in revenue from this exemption. So
Significant.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
And quick.
and it would be quick. So we're not even sure where the commissioners' heads are. They just sent us a letter, all the school districts, and I think they sent all the entities a letter about this being potentially something they might look into. So if we had any concerns, now is our time to voice them. So the school districts all thought if we voiced our concerns together,
Right.
it might be a little bit kind of all be on the same page with it. So we have not sent that letter yet. So I'm not sure where the commissioners are, if they're, and the other entities, if they're going to move forward with it or not. If they plan to, we did request a meeting just to talk to them.
Okay. Well, I guess, with that, if you need any reinforcements from board members, please let us know.
Yep.
We definitely would jump in on that. Also, the October 15th forecast, we won't have before this meeting, but we'll have for our next meeting. There's some bond refunding in the coming months, and Megan shared that she's looking at those.
The market took another
Negative.
drive the other way. So interest rates are back up. So it's up in the air whether or not we will look into that. So,
right. And then this is that time when health insurance rates and kind of the impact of increases are being looked at. And you're talking with One Digital, which is the company that oversees that for us. So that's pretty much all I had on the finance committee. Do you have anything?
Additional.
Nope, you covered it.
Thank you.
CQCC met also. I didn't know if we wanted to.
next meeting.
Next meeting, I think. I'll have you down for that. We'll get you next time, Ms. Lewis. Thank you very much. Finally, in my superintendent's report, I just would like to make sure that all of our board members, as well as all of our community, clearly understand that we are in the middle of celebrating Homecoming Week 2025. So although Fremont Ross High School and Fremont City Schools includes a variety of events throughout this week, there's all kinds of things happening in our buildings and across the district. Homecoming is truly meant to be something more. It's a celebration and an opportunity for shared history, for memories, and a lot of community pride. And so I want to just remind everyone that homecoming allows us to connect our generations, which I think is fantastic. It strengthens the ties between our current students and those alumni and those students who have come before them. And it reminds everyone of the significance of their time that they have spent involved with Fremont City Schools. And this is one event where we can foster that sense of community and stay in touch with our students, and hopefully build memories for our students that will last far beyond their days here in Fremont City Schools. So I encourage everyone that is watching, everyone to participate, to return to the place where you created some lifelong memories. And if you are able, join us Friday night for the parade that will leave Ross High School a little after 6 p.m. And we'll travel to the football game at Don Paul Stadium. That parade will travel down Franklin Avenue and hopes to be some really great weather and a really great showing of our cheerleaders and our band students and our student athletes that will take the field. So just wanted to encourage everyone to come back and join us for homecoming. I think
It looks like a lot of fun, creative activities that are going
Yes.
on in the high school. And I think that's something that will bring people back in the future and realize the importance of homecoming.
hopefully some really good memories. There were some door decorating contests that took place today. There's some different dress and different theme days throughout the week, and it allows the students and the staff to both really participate and have some fun and show some of that school spirit that we are very excited about. So in a year where we are celebrating that spirit with our little giant being 100 years old, this is a great homecoming to return. So we hope to have a great crowd Friday night.
Super.
Right. With that, Mr. Price, I'll continue with my recommendations if you're okay.
Yep.
Right. Item number 1, I would ask you to consider the approval of many, many donations this evening, beginning with Tyler and Marissa Cheek and going through to Wendy's. We have everything here this evening from pumpkins to cash donations to Frosties. It's just fantastic, the support we have of our community.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve item 1, please?
So
Motion by Ms. Lehman. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nally. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 2 begins with the approval of some resignations, and this is always a little bit of a challenge for me. I just want to take a moment just to read off a couple names here that I think when you provide 30 years of service to students and staff of Fremont City Schools, asking you to approve the resignations of Phil Moran, Lori Nossman, Maria Sassi, and Sandy Harmon, amongst with a couple others. Of those 4 individuals, 117 combined years of service to Fremont City Schools students and staff. That is an amazing amount of day in and day out. And we greatly appreciate all of our staff members. Item number 3, these are some approval of following appointments, beginning with some certified staff members, and then some new people joining our team for the first time. So we're very excited to have Lydia Bacon, Taylor Sisson, and Wendy Sewell, and then also some support staff substitutes. So wonderful to have people joining our team. Item number 4 are some supplemental contracts, beginning with Tanya Cook and running through Karen Wetzel. Item number 5, these are some additional supplemental duty schedules, beginning with Charles Chapman and going through Coach V. That's what I have for Coach V. Sam does a fantastic job for us there. Item number 6, ask that you approve the student teacher mentor. And item number 7, having some additional special event workers. These individuals will be working to support our fall musical programs that we will be housing in the PAC. Both Fremont City Schools musical as well as SJCC will be bringing their musical to our PAC, and we will be supporting, we'll have a lot happening in the next month or so. Item number 8 are just a couple of status changes. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve items 2 through 8, please?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yeah.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Item number 9, I would ask that you approve the MOU with our teachers union. There was a memo to you explaining the details of that.
Can I get a motion to approve item 9, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
Thank you. Item number 10 is an additional MOU with our teachers union.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve item 10, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lehman. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Moving on to report of the treasurer.
Woo. That's quick to me tonight.
Yay for
This is
you.
probably one of the first times that I will talk more than Denise.
Great.
Yeah, I know. You were all so excited. My report tonight will be the 5-year forecast. There's some legislation going on out there that I did watch a webinar on today. It's fun. School finance is just a fun place to be in right now with all the state. It's not just one house or one bill laying out there. There's all kinds that we really are watching and just waiting to see. For right now, we can just move forward and not going to run around saying the sky is falling yet. Just hope for everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to be because our legislators know what they're doing. So tonight you will see there is a then and now on the board agenda for our auxiliary funds through Bishop Hoffman, just so that you kind of have a backstory on this. A Bishop Hoffman employee circumvented the system and went ahead and ordered something before purchase order was put in place. From what I was told, they got antsy, for lack of a better word. That person no longer works for Bishop Hoffman, and we have explained that this is not to happen. We have to follow these rules and regulations. So we've really stressed with that. We had multiple conversations this year with Kim Cope, who is she new?
She's the new head of schools for Bishop Hoffman Catholic Schools. She's in a different role there within their school system. And so I think Megan has made it very clear to what those setup should be in the order of the process.
Yeah.
Because this happened something very similar a year ago or so.
With different players.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, yeah,
Honestly, I was ready to vote no when we did our vote because of this happening again. But based on the information you shared, that the person's no longer with them and that they took appropriate action, I would not be voting no.
And it's not just that we've had one conversation. We've now had multiple team meetings and making sure everyone's on the same page between us and them, that they understand what, the ramifications are and how serious this is, that we need to make sure that employees don't circumvent the system.
Is there anything in place, because I see the invoices for July,
Mm-hmm.
and it's October. So is there any, or I would just encourage giving some thought to,
There was some there's
if you have a good system in place because you know all the details,
Yes.
I mean, that's great.
there's a reason for the delay. There was
Okay.
multiple things that the person actually placed the order and didn't tell anyone, and then when it was the appropriate time to place the order, there was already a purchase order in place for that order. So then they were trying to figure out what actually happened, and when the players that did the ordering aren't there, it takes a lot of back and forth communication to figure out what actually happened.
Sure.
That's why there was a delay.
Okay.
Is because they had to figure out why they were getting billed twice for something, and then come to find out they had received 2 items and it had been placed prior to.
Good time.
Yeah, that's a great time. Lovely. Pam was so happy.
A lot of back and forth.
Yeah. And when you're working with companies like that, because with it being an over the summer thing, it didn't get turned in until a little bit later in the month. So that backs it up even more. And then you're trying to work with a company and you get sent to 6 different people. And each time it's somebody different who doesn't know the situation. So it does put a lag on it.
Sure. And those things are understandable.
Yeah. And then I also have on there tonight just appropriations. The one is for the building project. We have, after the all the estimates came back in, we found out we needed to free up some more of the cash that's available for us to spend. So we had to increase the appropriation for the 004 fund, which is the leftover money from our building project. And then we have a new grant this year for the after school program from United Way. And we wanted to be able to start that program this year, so we had to appropriate that money.
Right.
And now for the funnest part of the evening, I will go over my my initial forecast. With the budget bill, it is no longer a 5-year. I did do the actual forecast itself as a 5-year just to keep it consistent. What I submit to the state will fall within their parameters, but I just thought to keep it consistent, I would do the full 5 years. Just a reminder, this is done conservatively, taking into consideration all the legislation that is currently sitting on the table at the state that could affect our funding. We're just kind of operating on what we are currently getting and not really increasing any of our revenue areas, keeping it very consistent for the following years, just due to the state of the unknown. The forecast dashboard, if you have it on your computer, that is wrong in the red box, and it's wrong on the slide up here. I didn't update it from the last time. So in that red box, the total revenue should actually say for fiscal year 26, $52.9 million. Total expenses should be 51.9, and that would give us about $1 million surplus, just under $1 million. So the forecast for fiscal year 26 is looking pretty good for us to have $1 million at the end of the year. We did do some transfers to save for capital projects coming down the pipe, and also severances that we're going to have to be paying out to the teachers on our list of retirements that you saw. Over the forecast, we start out pretty good with our true days of cash. We increase a little bit, and then as we hit our deficit spending, that true days of cash does go down. Fiscal 26, we are looking to be at about $1 million surplus. Fiscal 27, about $2 million. And then fiscal 28, we're looking at almost right around 400,000. And then we hit deficit spending in fiscal 29 and 30. Fiscal 29, we have about $1.3 million deficit, and 3.2 in fiscal 20 or in fiscal 30. Some of the key takeaways from this forecast: our revenues increased 0.48 and our expenses went down about 1%, giving that projected $1 million. Our salaries did increase 3%, but our real estate collection, which is one of our largest revenue sources, did increase 11%. And we are starting to see that interest income come back down. We had been seeing high numbers in that category, but we are starting to see it come back down. So our interest income going outward, we've kept at a decrease for the coming years. Here is our data from the Department of Education. These are different things that we take into consideration when we look at staffing and where we want to or where our spending is going to be. While our overall student population has decreased slightly from last year, our special ed population has grown. So when we look at staff ratios, we have to take into consideration that when we identify more students with special needs, our staff ratios are going to need to reflect that as well. So it's not just our total population of students. We also have to look at that special ed. So we've had to add additional staffing here and there over the last couple of years to counteract that growing population.
Does that, like when you're talking about dollars to that, and I hear you say staffing, but does that also include like our students who have services that require funding, whether it's like transportation to get them to a different, all of those things.
All
are
of those
encompassed in that?
things tie into that.
Okay.
Special services, therapies, whatever we would need to
Sleep,
meet the needs of the
transport.
child.
Okay. Okay.
Even like our, I'm going to say the wrong one, North Point contract would factor into that as well.
Okay.
Because what we would need from them to provide services to these students.
Sure.
So.
Okay. Thank you.
Our revenue drivers, real estate is 26%, state funding is 30%, and income tax is 21%. Those are our three largest. Income tax isn't as predictable. We give a good guess, but that one goes up and down. Real estate is a little bit more consistent. We did see that large increase for this collection, but we have projected the increase is much smaller, in like a 1%, just due to everything potentially that could come with property tax reform and those different legislations. State funding for us, we've projected a slight increase, nothing large. And our interest income, like I said, we've actually have that trending down just due to the current markets and that kind of thing. The revenues, if you look at the tangible personal property taxes, that is our utilities is in there. Our utility companies that we get, that is higher in the fiscal 25, but we have that down almost $1 million in fiscal 26. And that's because we had that one-time repayment from Nexus that raised it up in fiscal 25. In our state funding, we did lose about $250,000 due to the change of looking at our poverty numbers. So when they switched to the direct cert versus counting 100% of our student population with CCP so that we could provide the free lunches, we did lose some money in that area.
So then I have a question. So if we have a loss in state funding, and I understand that there's lots of different streams in state funding, how are we projecting an increase in state funding?
So poverty is a small portion of what we get.
Fair.
And right now, the simulations with the current budget bill that's in place and some of the other funding factors, we are trending up in our funding. So even though we did lose a little bit in that area, now that they're going to be consistent with that number, we actually thought we were going to lose more, but we did not. So we feel very confident that keeping it at what the poverty funding is at, keeping that consistent now going forward. And then also just what we're getting as simulations for what the state's providing us that they're estimating we will receive from them. So it's multiple different factors that are increasing in different areas.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. I just think that has the potential to sound
Be
contradictory
misconstrued.
to our general public. So I think it's important to explain some of those things out.
Yep.
So there's good understanding.
And then if we look at our expenses, salaries make up 51% of our budget, benefits make up 21%, and then purchase service is 15%. Purchase service, I do want to highlight a large driver of that is our educational service center contract. So that's kind of still in that whole salary and benefits, just in a different package.
Oh, okay.
So those are huge, but we're a people business. So those would be our biggest expenses.
Yeah.
And if you look at the actual forecast, you'll see right now we currently sit at 66. As of the end of last year, we were at 66% of our budget with salary and benefits, not taking into consideration the purchase service. But as we go through the forecast, we get closer to that 80%. And once you get close to that 80%, that's when we hit deficit spending. And I've always found that very interesting. And it's pretty much on. As soon as you inch close to 80%, we hit deficit spending every time. So that's why that's such a huge thing that I'm so glad the directors are always keeping that into consideration when they look at their staffing needs. What do we actually need to run the district appropriately at the best for students, but at the same time, the best financial for the district? So that is, staffing needs is always a topic of conversation. This is just a chart on the expenses for fiscal year 26, which is we're projecting to be about 51.9 million. Just kind of those supplies and equipment are such a small percentage of our expenses, but it's really those purchase service, salary, and benefits. So part of that salary and benefits projection, we take into consideration the negotiated agreements that we have currently in place and very conservative guesses over the next couple of years. Insurance premiums that we're projecting for increases in this year with our insurance renewal. And this also addresses our ESC costs, with that slightly declining or slightly inclining. Oh, our declining overall enrollment's declining, but our special ed population is increasing, which will up our ESC costs. We are anticipating a little bit of a savings with our ESC contract just due to some changes in how we're our services are provided. We've taken on some costs ourselves, so that contract itself we're thinking might be a little bit less. We did take into consideration some transfers for the next couple of years so that we can save for capital projects, so that when all 4 school buildings, elementary buildings, and our Ross building have something go out, they will probably go all out at the same time. So we really need to, we have these beautiful buildings. We want to make sure that we take care of them. So we want to make sure that if something's going out, we have the money set aside. And then also with our severance funds. This just is our ending cash balance for the fiscal years. We project it to go up slightly over the next couple of years. And up through fiscal 28 and then fiscal 29, we hit the deficit spending. And so on our fiscal year 30, we're looking at ending at 8.2. So starting at 10.3 at the beginning and ending at 8.2, that's not bad. For those of you out there thinking,
I'm like
$2 million, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money to. but
And it is. We don't want anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to take that away from it.
Sneezing millions, but
I also remember years where there was no money left. So
yeah.
So I'm actually very happy with the numbers that we currently have to base this off of. I feel like this is a good projection. We should be able to maintain spending. And of course we will, as the later years come, we'll try as much as possible to keep from deficit spending. And I know those last 2 years are kind of shaky at best in those projections anyways. There's this next slide is a graph. It just kind of shows that salary and benefits as a percentage of revenue. And it grows every year. And that's just the reality of life.
The people business. I think you have to keep saying that.
When we're in the business of people like we are, that's the reality. We got to keep quality. And while we will constantly review needs and how many class sizes and all of that, it is a growing area for us.
We're not a factory with robots making wrenches.
And I do not see AI progressing fast enough in the next 5 years to replace all the teachers. So, or me. I know you're all disappointed.
Nor do we want that.
Might be a little bit better. I don't know. So that is just a high view of the forecast. We, of course, will have this all available with the board agenda items. Is there any questions? Anything you want me to dig into more?
On the purchase services, just so people understand, most of that is through ESC, through North Point. And the overwhelming majority of that really is staff.
Yes.
Again, people company instead of, it's not like items.
It's approximately 80 staff members, give or take.
Yeah.
That are part of that contract with North Point ESC. So again, it's, we say in education all the time, we can do a whole lot with quality individuals. And I would always propose using our dollars for quality individuals, quality people that can impact children, as opposed to purchasing stuff,
right?
Equipment and supplies. And those things are important. And we need pieces and parts of those. But those things can also sit on a shelf and not have that same impact as just quality people.
Mm-hmm. And I think the assumptions page, Megan, that you provided as well helps to kind of outline, some of those things. Even just since we're talking about purchase services, when I see some of the things that you have, listed, just everyday educational setting items, they're literally things to run the district. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From CCP to utilities, like all of those things, and things in between, so that's very helpful.
Buses are now running much more expensive than they were.
30-ish.
I remember when I started, I think we could get them for 100.
I remember 90.
Okay, so about 90, and now they're up to about 130. And
to buy a bus.
Yep.
And sometimes we have to buy some added things for different students' needs, and
Certainly.
those can run us 150, 160. So,
And Sarah, you bring up CCP as an example. And again, some of those things that are part of that purchase service piece are tied to legislation that we as a district must provide for our students. Great opportunities for our kids, but a cost to the local district in order to provide those pieces. So,
are there other models for that CCC program for the dollars? For example, I visited like the Mentor School District, and they're doing a lot with Lakeland Community College coming into the high school and doing different programs. Are we doing much of that?
Actually, we have several courses that are taught by primarily Tara. State Community College is our primary contact with those pieces right here in town. So, and you're right, there are different tiers within that CCP. So our students have the opportunity to take courses at any established college or university that they can connect with, and they can take those courses online or in person on their campus. That's kind of the top tier. The next level would be the college or university providing their staff member to our campus. So our students have that opportunity. We pay a different price with that. That's a different tier. And then the third opportunity is for our staff member to be sanctioned by that college or university and teach that college level course on our campus for our students.
And do we have some?
We have a little bit of all of that going on in the district. And so we continue to try to look for where avenues where that we can build those programs and those communications, interests that would be aligned with what the students have, that their thinking is. We also then have to make sure that it aligns with master schedule. We have a place in the building to teach that course, a time frame. So there's a lot of moving parts that Mrs. Abernathy gets to plan with when it comes to CCP and curriculum and
So
instruction.
even though we're paying out
we pay
to
out.
Tara, we're in those cases we're still providing lights and
Absolutely.
physical facilities and
Absolutely. And we pay out for any of those three tiers that I just described.
Right.
We pay. We pay less depending on how you work through those tiers.
And those opportunities, not to get too far off course, but like having that varied system allows any students to utilize it. So we have lots of students who maybe are whatever freshman, sophomore that don't have a driver's license yet because they're not old enough, so they can't go. You know what I mean? To a Tira or a BG or anywhere else. Or there might be students that have a driver's license but just don't have the means, you know what I mean, to be transported. So we can do those things right here in house and still service a lot of kiddos.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the availability of their schedule. And if they're taking that course seated with us, they don't have to scrap 3 periods in the day because of transferring back and forth or driving. So it does opens up more time for them.
Because mom's taxi service doesn't run.
Just talking about CCP, I had a conversation with someone who didn't understand that as a school district, we have to pay something for those courses. And I said, wait, it's not free to Fremont City Schools. So understand, I mean, it's good to know that just because I think CCP has been around long enough now where it's just, oh yeah, they're taking a CCP class. Yeah. And they just think, oh, it's just like if they were taking whatever, wood shop, you know, or something like that. No, it's different because it's a college level course and we actually pay for that student to get it. So just in remembering that they're getting college credit, but it's our dime that's helping them get that college credit. So, I mean, I know, you know, we have someone working for us at the cookie shop where she will graduate and have her associate's degree when she graduates high school. Awesome. Which is great. Which is great for her.
Phenomenal.
But those CCP classes were paid for by free. I mean, it's a discounted rate, and I get all that, and it depends on what tier it is. But it is, I don't want people to think that they take Fremont schools for granted, that it's just, well, it's just something and they don't have to pay. Yeah, we do. We pay for every credit hour. So it's good to know that there is a cost. Not that we don't want to do it by any means to help our students, but
right, it's free for our students and it's free for our families.
But
it's
someone
not a
still
free
has to
offering
pay
for
for
the
it.
district.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. And it's required to.
And it's required by law.
By law. Yeah.
So sorry to add to that.
No.
All right. So I would just say while just because the topic for the budget bill this year was carryover and how much districts have. $10 million on a $50 million budget. While yes, that is a lot of money, percentage wise, that is still very low. We don't operate on a huge carryover. There's other districts that can do that, but we're just not. We keep it pretty close to what we spend. We try not to carry over too much money and be fiscally responsible as possible. So that is all I have for report. If we want to go for approvals, Mr.
Okay.
Price.
Yep. All right. So you want to go through them, or we already?
Yeah,
did,
we already did.
Okay.
Yep. I tried to.
So can I get a motion to approve item 11, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Nally. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bloom. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Then on the appropriations matter, can I have a motion to approve item 12, please?
Are 12 and 13 together? Or are they?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I was. Thank you, Ms. Lewis. So, and then item 13 is just approving the forecast for the fiscal years 26 through 29. So can I get a motion to approve items 12 and 13, please?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Lewis. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. All right, moving on to board member communications. Lori.
Well, thank you for the donations from the public and congratulations on the retirements. My girls are going to be sad to see Mrs. Nossman. I mean, they're not in school, but they just loved her. She was like, Ellie went down and helped her with her school room when she would start the year, and then she'd go down and help her take it down at the end of the year. So they have some good memories with her and Mrs. Price and Mrs. Cook. And I know I had said I wanted to see the band walk down. I might get to walk with them this Friday because Grayson wants to go with the I'll do it again. His cross guard. They
Safety
said
patrol.
safety patrol.
Safety patrol, Mrs. Bloom.
I know. Don't downgrade it. It's they meet at 5:30 and they're all gonna walk down and he wants to go. I can get a free ticket to get in, he said. I was like,
participate.
okay, so I might be walking in the parade because I don't know if anybody else will go with him, but I will. I take him everywhere. He's my buddy. So, but other than that, that's it.
Miss Lehman?
I'm looking forward to well, first of all, the Friday night football game back to town after 3 weeks. I'm looking forward to that, and it's homecoming game. Looking forward to seeing all the handsome guys and beautiful girls. I'll be there to watch everybody come in their dresses and outfits Saturday. And the only thing I can say is for the younger kids, well, actually older too. Tomorrow night down at the amphitheater at 7:30, they're showing The Wizard of Oz. Free popcorn, free bounce house. Bring your chairs and blankets, and Wizard of Oz free, absolutely no charge.
That's awesome.
You know, I think
That
the
might
kids would
be
like that.
that might be too scary for me outside.
No.
You afraid of flying
Somebody
monkeys?
could swoop down.
Really, I think it's a safe movie to watch.
It's not the Sphere in Vegas, but
I know. That's all I have, though.
that's awesome.
Miss Lewis?
I just want to echo the same thing about homecoming. This is just the most exciting time of the year for me. I love homecoming and everything that happens all week in the classrooms with the kiddos and the high school kids participating in all of the spirit activities. I'm glad they're all not too cool for that, and they have a great time. There's lots of local businesses, just lots of local businesses in general that support our kiddos. But I know that there's a few in town that have shirts available for homecoming. I know Benchmark has a homecoming shirt, and I think those orders are due tonight. And then Juan Vela at Fremont Athletics has a cool shirt too available for purchase to just support the kiddos as well. As far as the homecoming dance on Saturday, we want all of the high school kiddos to have a great time and make those memories. But please be safe and be careful, and make sure that you follow all the rules that are put forth for homecoming and curfews and things like that. Couple athletes to recognize. Brooke Bakey, she's a senior volleyball player. She earned her 1,000th career dig last week. So pretty special moment for her. And then in cross country, Lily Kaiser and Julia Norris and Bentley Lopez all earned first team NLL recognition, and Kennedy Walker earned second team NLL recognition. So kudos and shout out to those athletes. And then I'm just going to do a shameless plug for the band. And I'm not even ashamed at all. I intentionally wore my band shirt. These kids just put on such an awesome show every football game, and it just doesn't even matter what's happening on the field. They support the team along with the cheerleaders, but they are very supportive of the team and support each other and just do a great job. Their show last week at Springfield was phenomenal. So these kids put in a lot of work. I mean, it's part of their regular school day. On Wednesday afternoons, they stay after school for a rehearsal. And they just put in a lot of work. So shout out to all of the instructors, majorettes as well, and their coaches, and just keep up the great work.
Okay. Don?
Just wanted to mention a real positive regarding Facebook presence. I think, it's been pretty impressive to me to see the number of posts that are being made by teachers and the activities the kids are doing. I know I try to, make a comment or give it a like, but I think that's a real positive for our community to see those types of activities. Also, this is hurt when you do your traveling around the district. I think that's a real positive. We got to make sure that gets released a couple times because I've missed it a few. And but just the Facebook presence. Also wanted to mention, you talked about some of the retirements. I remember when Phil Moran came on as a swim coach. And, when we look at him, Mr. Bucci, and we've had a real history of very good swim coaches through the course of the years, and not that everyone doesn't put in the time, but when I look at Phil Moran being there for morning swims, I remember when my kids were getting up at 5:30 for a 6 o'clock or a 5:30 swim, and at that time I was always worried about my daughter. And, in the icy weather, going to the old pool. They swam in the old pool, and I was always worried about her sliding down the hill during the real cold weather when we had a lot of snow and stuff going on. But the early morning hours, the late evening hours, and then when you combine that with regular teaching activities, I got to see Phil Moran throughout his career, and just very impressive. And If he stays around to coach, great. If he doesn't, hopefully, I think it's going to be hard to find somebody that's going to jump in there and put in the time and the hours as a swim coach. I'm sure we will, but I'm just saying I think it's a challenge. And, I wish him the best when that time comes next year. And then the other thing, Mrs. Hurt, could you mention a little bit about the Think Manufacturing, how that went at Terra? I just think that's a really great activity.
Think Manufacturing is a event that is put on by our Sandusky County Business Advisory Council with partnering with Sandusky County Economic Development. And then they work with our local manufacturing companies. This year, the event was held at Fremont Rec Center. It is an event that all freshmen countywide are invited to attend, and they schedule it in. It's a half-day session, I believe. And we hear from our students every year the amazingness of this day. It's ran very well. It's organized really well. But what it does for our students is it allows them to see the work in process. So our manufacturers will bring in sample machinery and robots, and they get to have their hands on to see some of these things that they maybe have heard about, maybe have never heard about. There's a lot of problem solving. There's a lot of STEM learning. They hear about the math and the science that coincides with it, but they also hear about the speaking, writing, listening, reading that is attached to that, and being able to interact with individuals. They get divided up into teams when they come off the bus. They move throughout the entire space and go from station to station to station. So they really do see a lot and are able to put their hands on a lot of pieces. It's a wonderful event that we partner with. It's the other piece that the school district is positively love. Our students benefit greatly from it, and we're not running point. People who are involved in that manufacturing world, it's their thing. It's their day to showcase, and we participate, and our kids just love the opportunity. Every year we hear about it.
That's great. I really wanted you to share on that because, the kids getting out and getting into real world activities, seeing where products are coming from. We as a society see that end piece most of the time. And, some of our kids are going to end up in offices. Some are going to end up in factories. Some are going to, and that whole world is there. So I just think it's a great activity, and I'm glad we participate.
Yes, very much so. Thank you.
Thanks. That's all I had.
Okay. Well, I'll say thank you again. Like Lori did, to all the donations. Every board meeting, we always have a big list of community members or groups or organizations that donate stuff to the school district. So thank you very much. Also, thanks to all the people who have signed up to be a coach, a focus tutor, a club advisor, all that stuff that takes extra time, whether you're a staff member at Fremont Schools or somewhere else and you're taking the time out of your week to help out the kids here at our schools. Greatly appreciated. We can't do that stuff without you, so it makes it pretty hard. Have fun this week with homecoming. Make the smart choice when it comes to Saturday night. Don't make the dumb mistake. Good luck to the football team. We're finally, I think it's been a couple weeks now, we finally hit real football weather, so it'll be a nice night to actually put a sweatshirt on and watch football for homecoming, so it should be a good night. With that, no reason for executive session. Okay. Can I have a motion for adjournment, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Bloom. Could I have a second?
Second.
Second by Miss Lehman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bloom,
Yes.
Ms. Lehman,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Nally,
Yes.
Mr. Price.
Yes, motion's approved. Meeting is adjourned.